Hello. Sorry, I forgot that I had started streaming for a second. I know that that's a bad sign, but hello. I don't remember what I was in the middle of doing, which is a common thing in this game. Let me turn that off. I forget what this woman is for, or this girl. Hang on. Hey girl. Hope everybody's having a good day so far. Or morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is. No, this is Link. Zelda is stuck in the castle. We're showing him our sweet iPad on our hip. The basic runes. My name is Simon. Yeah, I thought. Well, speaking of the speaking of those of the cartoon, in a similar vein, you've probably seen the clips of these out of context. But let me. Uh, but there is a. We're gonna start off early with me just showing you weird shit. But let me pull up Zelda Wand of Gamelon. Opening.
Zelda?
While we're here, you know. Bear with me.
Duke Onkled is under attack by the evil forces of Ganon. I'm going to Gamelon to aid him.
But father, what if something
Oh, when they
happens
said
to
high
you?
quality, they were
I want
lying.
the
Never
Triforce's
mind.
courage to protect me. If you don't hear from me in a month, send Link.
Impa?
Don't worry, Zelda. Will safely return.
Enough. My ship sails in the morning. I wonder what's for dinner.
Oh boy! I'm so hungry, I could eat an Octorok!
So if you've hung out on the internet enough, you've
And
probably
still
seen
no
some
word.
clips of these
Sure,
out of
he's
context.
all right.
Yeah, that old Ganon's no match for the king.
Link, go to Gamelon and find my father.
Great! I can't wait to bomb some Dodongos!
Why does it say high quality when it looks like it was found in a toilet?
Wake up, Impa. We're going to Gamelon.
All right, dear. I'll get the Triforce of Wisdom.
So anyway, I thought about playing these games, but I decided against it. That is the wrong one. Discard. Thank you. So that was 95? 94. Let me see. When did the Zelda CDI games come out? Oh, 93. So this is like right when like CD-ROMs or CDs in general, they were harnessing the power of being able to play videos. And I actually played a game that's basically a spiritual successor, uh, like released a couple years ago on stream that has like some of the same voice actors and is in an identical style. I think it has some of the same animators. But basically, it was being animated by like 5 people in Russia who weren't being paid enough. So, Mrs. Director. On ancient Hyrule culture. I don't like her throwing up gang signs. But the Zelda CDI opening is very much is not really that different than the cartoon. Partly because that was the only thing they had to base it on. It's me. So we were asleep for 100 years and things went to shit. And I don't remember this girl who apparently used to be an adult. Aren't you a child? And when I get distracted again or get bored, we can do a full we can try to do a full count of all the DC comics I read last year, because it is too many. Well, considering that I need the slate fixed to save the world, I would hope that you would do it for free. It's gotta be, because, well, I can do a little bit. Because I started with the Doom Patrol, which I read every Doom Patrol comic. And plugging that in, 39... Doom Patrol by itself is around 200 issues if you read all of them, so... And I just never stopped, aside from that 2-month break when I was hyperfixating on Star Trek. Alright, there's a blue furnace down in the town. And actually... this would be a decent place to get a bird's eye view. Not a ton. I kind of petered out after the crossover with the Superman books that Milestone did, but I can look at that too. Milestone reading order. I read up to where is it? I can look at this. So that's like 75 issues of Milestone. Oh shit. Oh, I need to... oh shit. If you have metal equipped on you when lightning strikes, you'll get fucked up. Actually, that would be funny to see, so let's... That's my bad for for standing on the highest structure I could find and then decking myself out in metal. Yeah. Might have to look back through some of what I was because I feel like I've forgotten half of the shit that I read. I forgot that I read the Vigilante book from the 80s, which spun out of the new Teen Titans. Okay, we are going to unequip our axe. So it's hard to see, but the big bad guy is over there, and technically we could go over there at any time to try to like fight him and rescue the princess. But the larger goal is that there were four giant robots that he took over 100 years ago. I forget exactly where they are, but if we free the spirits controlling those robots, we could have a better shot of surviving getting into the castle. Yeah, they found robots that were invented like 10,000 years ago. Is there other clothing that I want to wear or no? Zelda games don't really have like a lot of connecting lore. Technically, they do sometimes, but no one really cares. Man, those pigmen did not like that. Nope, 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 nope. Put that down. But the Vigilante book, which was basically the Punisher, except he actually has like a the Vigilante, unlike the Punisher, actually like has moral quandaries about what he's doing, whereas Frank Castle really, really doesn't. Okay. Is that a shrine? I read a decent amount of Teen Titans up to the Wolfman run. I read all of Peter David's Young Justice. I read the Grant Morrison JLA run. I read all of those fucking those comics starring the New Bloods, the event that gave us Garth Ennis's Hitman. I read all of those, but I stopped at reading Hitman itself because I got bored. I swear somebody was throwing rocks at me. Bloodlines, yeah. I read all of the tie-in issues for that, and then I read the solo books that spun off of it. I read all of the Outsider books up to like 2011. I did read Winnick's Outsiders, and I read the runs after Winnick left. None of which are any good. Oh, they're fighting somebody. Oh, okay. What are you people doing out here?
Huh? Huh.
Oh, I also read Chuck Dixon's Nightwing up to like issue 70 or something. I kind of got stuck. I kind of got like caught up in like the Bat crossovers, so I kind of lost track of where I was at Nightwing. And I read the Cassandra Cain Batgirl. And even that had issues written by Chuck Dixon. I can't escape that man. I can't escape Little Dix.
Oh.
Now, Heartbroken is really, really good when it's not being written by Chuck Dixon. And again, is a lot of my animosity towards Dixon specifically because he and I share a last name, probably. But he also is like turbo shitty, like genuinely so. So I don't really think it's doing much harm. Oh, they are everywhere. So I know that bombs are a way to get honey without pissing off the bees, or like so. And I accidentally blew myself up. Oh no, that didn't work. Fuck you, bees. Yeah, I don't have any, like, personal connection with him, but... And he's not... I mean, that thing he did early last year where he shared a fake panel of Nightwing where they were talking about, like, how hot Nightwing is. Like, that fake panel he shared, like, that was crazy. But aside from that, I don't think that his, like, shittiness is super, super notable. He's kind of just emblematic of a generation. Now, I think conservatism in general has moved right, but I think he always basically held the same views. He just didn't feel the need to grandstand about them because he thought the culture was with him. the culture just basically moved left and exposed some rats. So the weapons break after a while, which is why I keep picking up and dropping them. And where is that good one? Okay. Now, I do believe in, or I try to separate the art from the artist, and I think I mainly am able to do that with Dixon. Like, I've never said that he didn't write some good shit, and that he wasn't important, and wrote like foundational works. But he's also just a but I am also of the opinion that his entire like online presence lately is just continuously showing his ass, metaphorically, and possibly literally. I haven't looked into whether he has an OnlyFans. Yeah, I don't know. I know that he's very like that he's not on good terms with DC, and that's partly why he tweeted that fake edited panel like it was real. I'm trying to think again. I read Nightfall. Not Nightfall. I read, what is it? What's it called? No Man's Land. I read that. I read all the tie-ins, which is like 130 something. My super ladle is badly damaged. So this one... So I think this... so this one is broken, but these are the robots that they were talking about. Well, actually, while I'm on the DC Wiki, I can pull up the old calculator app. I don't have a like. I'm sure there's like miscellaneous stuff that I read that that I wasn't specifically reading for any real reason that I'm forgetting. 18 plus 22. Like, you know, that's a fair point. I'm probably gonna slow down because I'm gonna start this mission tomorrow to miss out on all the classic and/or weird movies that I've never seen, because I feel like that's a weak spot in my knowledge base. Is there a stable anywhere? Oh, there it is. We can just grab a horse and be there faster. I'm tabulating in the Outsiders one, uh, the comics, because they're pretty self-contained for the most part. So let me see. Doom Patrol and Outsiders combined. I think I've heard people talking good things about the Avengers. I just have no interest in Marvel Comics anymore. But before I forget, let's call our horse. I forget if it costs money
Oh.
to take one out.
Hmm? Oh. Yeah.
Horses are not as useful as you might think, but it is technically faster. I don't know what that weird piano key music is for. That makes me think that there's a fight or something going on. Hey, come back here. Found you, bitch. So these little leaf guys are hiding everywhere, and you solve little puzzles or find them in the wild, and they give you a little nut. Just a little nut as a treat. And you can use the nuts to upgrade how many weapons and shields you can carry. The Batwing has been on the list. His run on Batwing has been on the list for a bit. Oh, there's 2 shrines nearby. So I have an idea for a segment like in my Discord or in one of my Discords where I like live blog about what I'm reading, where I'll kind of live blog about the oh dear. Oh my god. Sir, please. As if I didn't have enough problems. And one of the robots is around. I just need him to like disappear or whatever it is the skeletons do when the light comes on. Okay. Okay, that didn't fucking work. Let's load a save, because this is not going well. So I am technically dying, but I have like a bunch of fairies that resurrect you with full health. I have like 5 of them. So technically I can take a few hits from these robots, but I'd rather just not do that. Let me see. No Man's Land. No Man's Land also involved me reading way more of Azrael's solo comic than I ever thought I would in my life. Okay. So technically No Man's Land, I read Cataclysm, which is the arc where they're hit by the earthquake, and No Man's Land is the arc where Gotham is declared a No Man's Land. So it's technically 2 arcs that I read. So plus 12 plus 88 for No Man's Land. Plus 18 plus 16. We're at almost 550. Cataclysm and No Man's Land together is 130. I'll admit I kind of zoned out during part of No Man's Land, mainly the parts featuring Azrael. I'm sure I can. Actually, we can pull up. Okay. So this is like a remix, just using, just to make it sound like 16-bit. So I think I can get away for playing this music. Because it's not the actual song. I'm gonna risk it. So just to have that as noise while I look through. While I look through where we're at. Yeah, I can never figure out my audio balance. But it's fine. Okay. Vigilante. Vigilante is a clean 50. The original John Ostrander Suicide Squad run is around 50. Plus that, adding Vigilante and Suicide Squad brings us to 650. Let me see how many issues of JLA I read. Because I think I stopped after Mark Waid left the book. I'm just trying to figure it out. Okay, yeah. So, roughly 60 issues of JLA brings us up to 720-ish. We're not even counting, because I read some of Judd Winnick's Exiles from Marvel, and I've been reading the stupid Archie Sonic comics, but I'm not counting those. I read the original Teen Titans from the 60s and early 70s, which is around 50. I read Dan Jurgens' short-lived Teen Titans run from the 90s, which was 24 issues, which brings us up to almost 800. The Wolfman Titans is a little hard to keep track of because it was split across like 3 different books. 34 plus 40. $875. I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting here. Plus 18. I didn't even really like get into this endeavor for any sort of like bragging reason. I just realized how deep I had dug myself into this rabbit hole. I read the George Perez Wonder Woman run, I think in December of 2023, like right before the new year. And I quit somewhere around issue 40. Or less than that, issue 30. Let's just go an even 25 on that, because I feel like I deserve extra credit. We didn't do Young Justice yet, which was another 56 issues. And let me take a look in my DC app to see what, because the recent thing I've been reading is the Mark Waid Flash, so let me see what issue of that I am on. I don't know why it is being difficult. So the Mark Waid run starts around issue 62, and I'm currently $147, so that's plus 80. Actually, I'm bad at math. Let's just make that an even 75. And an even, and we can kind of put a pin in this, unless I think of something that I'm forgetting, with James Robinson's Starman, which ran for 83 issues. This is not counting like weird like crossovers or like annuals. I don't think. So that's around 1,050 is what I've accounted for so far. So looks like you were on the money. So barring any like, unless I read like 100 issues of something and it was so boring that I blocked it all out, I think we're good. Oh wait, actually, I read all of Black Lightning's comics prior to the New 52. Almost all of the stuff I was reading was before the New 52. So and none of his solo titles have lasted that long. I read his original 70s series, and I read Black Lightning Year 1, which is around 15. And I also this is like not part of the thing at all, but I realized that I watched the Young Justice show, like all 4 seasons of it, I believe, in 8 days. And I didn't even realize I was doing that. I just truly get focused on shit to the exclusion of all else. I believe this was after the election, so I needed to bury myself in something to just not succumb to unending despair. Oh, this music is for this, like, piano key music is to indicate that there's a robot around, I think. Yeah, I think it must have been like somewhere hanging around Viper. I heard about the Canada elections. So like, I mean, yeah, the entire world is experiencing an uptick in fascism, and we're just gonna have to deal with it. All right. What does honey do? We're just trying to cook a delicious meal. If it'll let us. And no, it won't. Good to know. Wait, what was that? Oh, it's one of the octopus. Oh, there's another one. Poke your head out. So we're collecting gross shit from the monsters we pick up, because we can use them for potions and stuff. Also just because they're cool. And if I get bored of Zelda, there is like an old adventure game that I've been curious about. Kind of in the vein, it's not like in a similar genre, but it's in the same, it's in a similar format to the Gabriel Knight game that we played that one time. I'm just gonna leave these horses alone. It's okay, buddy. So, I forget exactly where the robot was when we came through here the last time. But hopefully this will go better. We need to climb that tower so that we can activate it, so that we can get a map of the area. And if we don't take care of that robot, it's just gonna fire lasers at us from the ground while we try to climb it. Get off the fucking horse! The fuck is the matter with you? Okay, that's better. I don't need that fucking... this water blob in my life, period, but... this is going very poorly. Well, this is going, actually nowhere. So I think we should just give up on solving this for right now. we can just do the furnace like she told us to. When I was reading the Wolfman Titans, something that struck me, besides how the way that the comic treats Terra in the Judas Contract is actually worse than I thought it was going to be. But I also was surprised that I didn't hate Terry Long like I was told I would. Maybe I haven't gotten to the part that people hate him for, but he's like it's a little weird that he's like in his late 30s dating Donna Troy, but I don't know. I mean, it does the thing where like every single like one of Donna's female friends expresses attraction to him. And like Donna assumes at one point, because he's having private meetings with a girl student, that he's having sex with a female student. Which is like isn't true, but also I feel like it would be a much bigger deal than what the comic thinks it would be. Because when I first started reading, I thought Terry was gross because I thought that he was Donna's professor. But I don't think Donna ever actually went to school. He's just a professor that she knows. Can I help you, sir?
Aye.
Don't put away the torch, you idiot! You probably don't care for horsey facts. So the Judas Contract stuff is fucked up because although I've been recommended that I read the other history of the DC universe because it kind of addresses this, but Judas Contract is fucked up because Terra is the story basically comes to the conclusion that Terra was the real villain of the piece. Even though she was a mentally unstable minor who was who was in an abusive romantic relationship with someone in his 50s. How old is Slade supposed to be? Because she is explicitly 16 years old. She turns 16 after she joins the Titans, so... So if there was relations going on, she was possibly 15. And Beast Boy and Slade, like, have this meeting where Beast Boy asks if Terra slept with him, and Slade goes, "Would it matter? Would it make a difference?" And I'm like, yes, it would determine whether you are a pedophile. So I feel like it does matter. That's very alarming that that's your response to that question. Yeah, I forget how old Geoforce, her brother, is supposed to be. But he's like mid-20s, probably something like that. This glade of trees looks very conspicuous. I need to move away from the bombs before I detonate them. Well, speaking of Kitty Pryde, there was a character in the Doom Patrol before Morrison took over, which was basically just another team book that was trying to be like the X-Men, because they all were at that point in time. So there's a character who has magnetic powers that is basically just Kitty Pryde. And then Morrison took over, and that shit got really weird. I assumed that there might be some sort of goodie up here, but there wasn't. Oh, I read a couple of the runs of Animal Man. I read Grant Morrison's Animal Man and the run after that. Can I help you, child? There aren't any girls around here. Was Karen lying to us? Are you guys hiding in the woods looking for girls? And how come you guys don't get arrested when you do that, but when I do it, it's suddenly a big problem? I think I've read like the first 10 issues of Sandman. I forget what this quest even does. Is this just so that we can use it as a camera? Is that it? Yep, camera enabled. Okay. Again, this game came out in 2017, so it's been since then that I've played this. Camera. They uncovered the technology of the precursor Hyrule. So you can take pictures of people and creatures and shit to like add to your compendium, but I don't care. So. Some ancient materials. Give you something good. Oh, who's Robbie? Power up your remote bombs. Aw. I don't think I have enough to upgrade anything. And we need to go back to the other village and talk to Impa. So I could use my sensor to look for things to take pictures of. Not super exciting. I should probably clarify that I'm not, when I was talking about the Judas contract, I'm not actually mad about it. It's gross and it sucks, but I get that they didn't intend, they were just seeing it as drama. They were not thinking about it in that way at all. What does this man want? Take a picture of the sun shroom. Fucking get shroomed, idiot.
Oh.
And last year I did watch what?
Oh.
In addition to all the comics I read, I did watch somewhere around 300 episodes of Star Trek. Because I stopped around season 6 of Deep Space Nine, and I was like in season 3 of Voyager. And I watched the entirety of original series and Next Generation. What did he tell me to do? Oh. Okay, I may have been talking shit too soon. This is useful. Because you can tune your sensor to tell you when the ingredients you're looking for are nearby. Okay, I wasn't fully listening. That is useful. Lizard. Aw. Hey, wait a minute. I don't care. Well, that settles that. So in addition, we are not going to get into the nitty-gritty of the Sonic comics right now, but in addition to like the copyright nightmare that I've talked about before, where one of the writers was able to get basically get all of the characters he created declared as his property, because Archie Comics lost his contract and they couldn't disprove that he said that they agreed those characters would be his, and they couldn't disprove that because they lost the contract. No one actually believes that, but they couldn't disprove it. Was there a point to me bringing that up? I don't remember. In the reverse to that, there are actually a couple notable superhero writers that have worked on Sonic comics. One of them worked on the Archie comics, and that is fucking Dan Slott wrote a couple. And he is explicitly on Twitter gave Sega permission to use like the couple characters that he created. Jim Valentino, one of the co-founders of Image, also contributed to a couple issues because they were very desperate for any help at all. Now, in in Europe, they had their own different Sonic comic going on around the same time in the 90s. And I don't know really anything about that one other than Mark Miller wrote like a dozen or so issues. Mark, do you think this A stands for France Miller? I mean, probably not because he was just doing like freelance license work, but I don't know because I haven't read those. I just find like I just find weird media to be really interesting, and Sonic has a lot of it. Because in the canon, this is canon of the Archie comics, the planet that Sonic and his friends live on is Earth 10,000 years after the apocalypse, after aliens uh, uh, wiped out humans and turned them back into like genetic soup. And then over the millennia, furries rose up. and a species that looks near identical to humans also rose up. So the aliens' plan didn't work out all that well. And they did this because Sega didn't really care what they were doing. Sega was very hands off to the comics' detriment for the most part. I was completely not listening to what Impo was saying. Well, that's kind of the beauty of it. Like, I'm at the point in the comics where they actually start being like, I think, genuinely good comics for what they are. Like, I think non-Sonic fans might be able to get into the era that I'm in now and just read them as like fun adventure comics aimed at younger readers. I swear there was something that I was going to segue into. Oh, Sega. Oh, that's right. Sega was actually a nightmare to deal with because Sega basically refused to give them any reference material, like basically ever. No like model sheets, no concept art, no real references of any kind. So there's a lot of off-model Sonic art at a lot of points in the comics history. But where this gets really egregious is that Sonic game that I played that I played a few days ago, Sonic Adventure, with Knuckles and Amy and all them. They did a 7-issue arc adapting that game by Sega mandate, right? But there was a small wrinkle in that Sega refused to give them any behind the scenes information or basically anything. They didn't even give them a copy of the game. they had like basically nothing that the public didn't. So like one of the writers basically had to bootleg a Japanese copy and play it with a friend that knew a decent amount of Japanese in order to crunch this adaptation that they didn't even want to do in the first place. So like that's very shitty conditions to be working on anything in. But on the other hand, it was a It was a comic book based on a video game that lasted from 1992 to 2017. It lasted 25 years. Which is like more than you could ever possibly imagine. A comic like, or any comic really running
Oh.
these days, especially. Oh no, we already saw this. Ganon, the big evil smoke monster, took over.
Oh.
I forget why she has this ball in her room. She's like, don't touch my ball. That ball has been in my family for generations. I'm wearing this like do-rag for a reason. It increases my climbing speed. But while we're here, we can at least take a look at where one of the robots that we need to take care of and like free is. Let me. I believe this is the Zora Kingdom that we're headed towards. So we get to visit the non-human, the non-human races besides like the orcs that we've been fighting. We just need to do a little bit of climbing. This is a very like a weirdly relaxing game because you can just explore to your heart's content and there's almost always something to find. Oh, that's the moon. Okay, sorry. I got really scared because I didn't know what that was. I don't think I have anything to... I don't think the fairy can upgrade any of my clothes right now. The fairy queen, excuse me. So what are those? There is one... I kind of want to play like as many Zeldas as I can get my hands on. Oh man, that's not fair. But specifically, there's a Zelda game called Majora's Mask that is mechanically very different than the others. You still kind of explore the world and go to dungeons and stuff, but it's different because you are on a 3-day time limit. The moon is hurtling towards the earth, and it hits in 3 days, and that's not enough time to do everything that needs to be done to stop the moon. So you have to time travel back to the start of this 3-day cycle, and all of the characters have like actual schedules and distinct like patterns and patterns of behavior over these 3 days. So basically you just have to keep traveling back in time to solve different side quests in that time. this was like in 2000, and it's still a very like forward-thinking idea. Let me mark down this little guy. And another. Let's actually go in and do a shrine real quick. Can I take a picture of these? I can't tell if that, like, worked. Ah! Pictures taken right before disaster. Oh. We cannot go down here. There is a fucking spider robot. So Marvel Rivals has definitely like had a cultural impact, even among people who don't really consider themselves like Marvel fans. Because my significant other, who doesn't know shit, who lovingly, respectfully doesn't know shit about comics really, aside from the movies, is like a Squirrel Girl though. And I'm just kind of like. They knew exactly what they were doing. Oh, where did that go? Come back here. I think that's Diamond. Yeah! Well, she did, they did cast her in that new Warrior show, and the lady they cast her as is actually the one that voices her in Marvel Rivals. I forget what her name is. I don't know why everyone is acting like Squirrel Girl is actually, like, thick, like she's heavy, because she's not. She's just not, like, anorexia skinny. I've been, like, not playing with Vanny and Viper and all of our many friends because my internet hasn't been great, but when they drop the Fantastic Four trailer for Rivals in a couple days, I'll probably take it back up. Alright, the fact that it's like the path to that mountain is covered in giant bones isn't super promising. Oh hey, it's been a few days since that happened. I don't know how to make his message disappear off the screen. Well, the ones that like have data in the files, like indicating they're actively being worked on in the game, is Blade, Fantastic Four, Ultron. Feel like there's another big one, but I can't think of the rest of them. I just wanted to throw rock. But then the rock woke up and wanted to throw me. That's probably it. That's why I expect Daredevil to be a relatively quick addition for that same reason. The punchline for Blade being that I don't think that movie's ever coming out. Yeah. Well, Wesley Snipes was right. Well, he was right and wrong in Deadpool. There was not just one Blade, because he was also played by, what's his name? I forget what his name is, but he was played by a different guy in the TV series. But he's wrong in that that new Blade movie is never coming out. Oh hey. Sticky fingers, that's right. So here's a fish girl. She has lovingly rendered baps. Prince Sidon. Why are you hanging out near like all the monsters? I have an easier time getting to the fish people if I just get to the top of that tower. Oh, lizard man! I didn't anticipate that. Oh god, everything's on fire. Fuck you, goat. I didn't even do anything to you. trying to. I don't remember how long ago. It was only a few months ago that Blade lost its director, and I remember it was actually probably you. Now that I'm thinking about it, who like came in here and said Blade lost its director, and I was like, that happened a while ago, my guy. And you were like, no, it happened again. And I had to look it up because I didn't quite believe it. My tummy was making the rumblies. Let's make a little stew. Let's see, what else do we have? I've kind of fallen off of watching every MCU thing, or every superhero thing, at least in theaters. I haven't seen Venom 3, and I haven't seen Craven. I tried to pirate Craven. Right after I say that, you just hear FBI open up. I tried to pirate it, and I couldn't find any links that that I was willing to click on. Yeah. Holy shit. I want that sword. Thank you. I watched Madam Web for free on my computer around when it came out because Herman told me we would be talking about it on his podcast, but then that didn't happen. So I think he just tricked me into watching Madam Web just because. So these little above ground little hidey holes are. Oh, hello.
Oh. Ah.
I was assuming that that the one we were talking to was a woman, but now I actually am not sure. But the purpose for these is that these are like little puzzle dungeons, and you get a little basically a point for every one you complete, and you can trade those in for extra health. But I watched Madam Web, which was a time, and talking about Madam Web is what made Knuckle Sammy bully me into watching Fantastic Four 2015. And I was like, man, I get why Viper bullies you. Oh, do we have to fight? Oh, he's got little knife hands. Yeah, that I wasn't even saying that Madam Web was worse. I was just saying that like, I mean, Fant Four Stick is a pretty baffling movie in its own right. Like, it almost doesn't feel real if you really think about it. But I was just saying that, like, at least I understand. I don't understand how a Fantastic Four movie got greenlit and turned into what eventually transpired with Fant Four Stick. But I get why a Fantastic Four movie was greenlit. You know. Nobody give a shit about no Madam Web. I'm just remembering when man, I'm gonna seem immature when I get this thought out. So the copy that I saw Madam Web on was clearly recorded from somebody's like phone in the theater, and it was, I think he was like almost entirely alone aside from one other person, because it was dead quiet throughout the movie except for someone who had a cell phone ring and someone who I'm pretty sure just ripped absolute disgusting ass in the movie to the point where it got picked up on the camera, and for some reason I laughed so hard at that because I'm 12 years old.
Say, hey there, young one. Up top, above you.
Oh, here's the main fish man.
Pardon the entrance, but you're a Hylian, aren't you?
The legend of wanting to fuck a fish. I mean, yeah, that's probably it. So this region of the kingdom is under constant rainfall because the fucking robot, the giant robot, is making it rain. I remember that I usually go see the superhero movies with my dad, and I did not take him to Madam Web because it came out on his birthday, and I'm a good son. I also, like, after we went to see Morbius in the theater, I felt so embarrassed that I was like, I don't think we're gonna watch any of these Sony ones. In the theater anymore. Oh, we are about to drown. We should have just used the bridge like a normal person. Madam Web is worse than Morbius. Morbius, at least, is like a vaguely watchable, just 90s superhero movie. Like, you could put it on the TV or like whatever. Also, with Morbius, it felt like the cast cared, most of the cast did care about it. I don't know why they cared about it, but like Matt Smith seemed to be having a good time. Nobody in fucking Madam Web gives a shit. I'm sick of these fucking octopus. Who even is that? Oh, that's another lizard man. I thought that was one of our fishy friends. So climbing is harder when it's raining because you slip down a lot. Stop! He's making me waste my good sword. I hate rocks. So one thing you might not know, well, you probably do, but there's a lot of Pepsi product placement in Madam Web. There's a scene where she is holding a Pepsi can and not drinking it, and this goes on for like 3 minutes. And the villain is defeated by having a Pepsi sign fall on him. another thing that you may or may not have heard about is that it's kind of, it's like I don't want to say mild, because I don't think the stereotypes it's engaging in is okay, but I say mild because it only factors into the movie like slightly. I don't remember a lot of the... I think I didn't hear a lot of the dialogue because it was being recorded on somebody's phone. So I might have had a better viewing experience. But it's... Madam Web is a little racist. Because they go to the jungle and they... to like find the spider or whatever, and they find this spider tribe of just like almost completely naked people like climbing around like spiders and going like ooga booga. And like that's not okay, of course, but it's just like barely in the movie. So I forget about it. Can I use magnets on it? No. And later in the movie, when she goes back to that jungle, they see all of the like natives, which is it's only like 30 years later, but all of the natives are just wearing like nice Armani suits and shit. It's very weird. And of course, it is not great that their only role and purpose in the movie is to just help the white woman out. I feel like there was something else. Yes, they did. The tribal people I talked about are actually like they have. I forget what they're actually wearing on their face, but they have something like over their eyes, like that looks like the Spider-Man mask. They just have like little metal shit on their face, or like bones and shit, to evoke the Spider-Man mask. And of course, the villain is just wearing an evil Spider-Man suit for no apparent reason. Though I think the wiki said that he was inspired by the Spider-Woman suits that the girls were wearing in the future, because the villain is killed by the Spider-Women in the future, and he's inspired. And it says that he's inspired to wear suits that look kind of like that, even though that's dumb and it is never said in the movie. Don't make excuses for Madam Web. You need to push Madam Web over and kick its face in the dirt until it apologizes for what it has done. Guys, come on. Yeah. That is also Yeah. The subplot of, like, Uncle Ben's baby nephew or whatever is, like, also just spider baiting. I forget the guy's name, but he actually... Is it Adam Scott? He did okay, even though the writing is unsalvageable. I could tell that he was trying to do something. We'll be with you folks in a minute. Okay. There is another lizard man up here. They're like literally everywhere. So in case that got cut off, Adam Scott did okay as Uncle Ben. Even though Uncle Ben's presence in the movie is stupid, and the writing truly comes for everybody in the end. Adam Scott did feel like I feel like he's just naturally kind of likable, and I think that's basically it. But there's like a running thing in the movie where, like, Ben is like trying to like talk about his nephew, and it always cuts off before they say what his nephew's name is, and I don't fucking know what they thought the point of that was. I guess. It also doesn't... I guess all the movies are like technically supposed to be the same world, but they don't really interconnect at all. Besides Venom being mentioned in Morbius, and that vulture stinger from Morbius. But like, it's also weird because they like Uncle Ben is portrayed as being the brother of Peter Parker's mother instead of his father. I wonder, hang on. Let me see. I swear there was another one. But they designed those Spider-Girl outfits to be in the movie for like maybe 2 minutes. They never wear them during during any real scenes in the movie because it's just future shit. Sir, can we talk this out? Let's get rid of that shit. I'll have to see if Kraven. I also hear that Venom 3 is probably the worst of the 3 Venoms, but I'll have to see if Kraven is worse than Madam Web. I doubt it. Kraven from what I've seen prior to it coming out. There was actually there was a fake credit scene that people were talking about for Kraven where he actually does do that, where he has like a list of people he's gonna hunt, and I think Morbius and Kraven or Morbius and Venom are on there, but that's fake. But that would have been so funny. Why can they shoot lightning? But I forget. Man. Piss the fuck off. I guess I should have used the potion of electric invincibility now that I think about it. Okay, yeah, that is on me. But it doesn't even do anything. But Kraven at least feels like there is some like passion behind it, which I could not detect from anything. It's misplaced passion, in my opinion. But I couldn't detect any passion at all from Madam Web. I also wouldn't have gone to see Morbius if I had been aware then that Jared Leto is a creep and kind of a dickhead, but mostly a creep. I guess we go that way. He's like been caught several times being weird with questionably aged girls in his DM, and he basically runs a cult. He basically runs the fan base for his band. He basically runs it as a cult. He has like retreats.
Oh!
It would be so funny if like we couldn't hear him because he's all the way down there. Oh, hello. Ah! Nice try, my friend. I just picked up a like its stomach. Is that another shrine? Seems like it. So this seems like if we could go this way, that would be a much better shortcut. But I feel like that's a bad idea. Venom, and I still think Venom's a decent movie, the original one. And I kind of dig that it's a throwback to those like late 90s, early 2000s like superhero / action movies, you know. But when Venom came out, like we didn't know that that all of the Sony movies were going to be like that. Like that's all they do. And I think there's limited a limited gain from throwing back to an era where 95% of the movies sucked. Oh fuck, a wizard man. Not a lizard man, a wizard man. We can get rid of these wooden spears for now. I don't know if this lightning rod is really useful, but hey. Also, when Venom came out, like I had like actual hope that it might like meet with the MCU in a way that matters or that anyone cares about, but that was misplaced faith. So, like, half of why I liked Venom was like potential that has all since been squandered. Oh, we're so close to the shrine. My goodness gracious. I will say something we watched the other day. I think we watched it on Christmas. Was oh dear. Oh no. I can make it. Symbiote. That's really good. But what we did watch recently was Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which I think actually holds up a little bit better than a lot of the Marvel movies from around that time. I really... I like how all of the fish people seem to be, like, kind of, like, androgynous in their build, except for this guy, who's kind of fucking shredded. Okay. There is another shrine around here somewhere. I didn't realize that we were just going into the city. Rivon! Oh, we knew him when before we were put to sleep 100 years ago. So, later at some point, we'll do some side quests, but not right now.
Hi.
Why is your neck so tiny? Are you okay? I feel like if I took that brace off, it would just fall off. I'm a hi, Leon. My dad told me not to talk to strangers. I'm the legendary hero. I was looking back at like some of my activity in like Vanny and Chris's Discord, and I found that when the Secret Invasion episodes were coming out from Marvel, that I was fairly positive towards them because I thought they were building to something, and now I feel stupid. I remember this. I actually remember this puzzle, and I remember it being annoying. So let's put up if we fucking can, an ice block once the balls pass through. Nope. Ah! Link, you doofus! You absolute buffoon! Nope. That's not going nowhere. Alright. But Winter Soldier, I think, back to my train of thought, I think it, well, first of all, I think Winter Soldier contains, probably Scarlett Johansson's, like, best work as Black Widow. Because she actually does a lot better when she's in, when she's treated like a spy, which she rarely is. I just need to get the lay of the land, so it's like Plinko. We're trying to get that ball in that hole. Well, yes, aside from Scarlett Johansson, like, has done, like, I think has done good with the role, but I don't think it was good casting. So we just push the ball. Oh, I see something. Oh, they're like stuck. Okay. I see your point. Oh no. Oh, please. So Black Widow actually shows up in that Punisher game that we were playing that one time. Well, more than that one time. And like someone said, it is weird to actually to hear someone to hear Marvel give her a Russian voice. They don't do that no more. Does the bomb do anything? Is it the bomb? Okay, that should hold. I also remember wait a minute. I just fucking realized something. So I remember that Winter Soldier was like the context behind like I think one of the angriest that I've ever seen my mother at my sister, not for any serious reason, but my sister, bless her heart, doesn't know shit about shit. So my mom was like trying to make conversation about the new Captain America movie, and she was like, "Hey, Robert Redford is in it, right?" And my sister, like, looked like my mom just, like, tried to cast a curse. It was like, and I forget exactly what my sister said, but later she was like, and how was I supposed to know who Robert Redford was? It was like, I don't, man, just no shit, I don't know. I feel like I don't know enough about, like, modern stuff, but her approach to life just seems a lot worse. Love you, sis. Okay, I think I found the solution. I was thinking too hard. Because if we just freeze it. Whoa. Fall in the hole! There we go. That took too long. But like Winter Soldier was one of the first times that they were kind of experimenting with tone in like a way that worked. And I feel like they kind of gave up on that experiment later on in the MCU. Laugh flat. So this statue is of the fish girl who was assigned to pilot the giant robot 100 years ago. And she was also aggressively crushing on Link. So I have a feeling when we wake her up, she's gonna be forgetting how to act. Can I help you, sir? I really don't like your lips. See what you did to Lady Mifa? I was... You take care too. I'll probably be done in the next 20 minutes or so. Oh my god, he is a big boy. I've beaten this game. Why do I not remember this huge whale man? I don't think Link is that common of a name in this part, because unless everybody's naming their kid Link, so that they might be the legendary hero. Alright. I think my friend Tiger is going to be streaming in a few minutes. Or... Well, actually, we can just, as soon as this cutscene is over and this fucking disgusting Manta Ray man gets out of my face, we will take our leave and raid into Viper Fox, who I did not realize was streaming. giant elephant. I think. I don't remember. Yes. It's a giant robot elephant. Just because you can build something doesn't mean that you should. Oh, that's right, they think Zelda's dead. King Dorathan. I mean, he's provided pretty definitive evidence that he's Link. I was expecting to look back at my browser and realize that background music has been on the whole time, but luckily that did not happen. But before we leave, I just... Oh god, he has really tiny legs? Okay, we will hop into our lovely friend, Viper Fox. One, two, three. Everybody take easy and stay safe.